Think your home is clean? Well, here's some key areas you might want to check. Hi, Doug Chamberlain with the Samaritan Ministries Family Health Checkup. Keeping your home clean and germ-free is a challenge. And even if it looks clean, there are still certain areas you should focus on to make sure your family stays healthy. Here's 10 areas that, when you hear them, you'll probably nod in agreement that they could be an issue in your home. Here we go. Cutting boards, stove knobs, kitchen counters, pet toys, bathroom faucet handles, coffee makers, pet bowls, toothbrush holders, kitchen sinks, and probably the worst in your home, dish sponges and dishcloths. I don't know about you, but it makes me want to go back and clean all over again. But focusing on these key areas really can keep your family healthier. For more about your family's health, or to listen to more tips, go to FamilyHealthCheckup.org.
Hi, I'm Bobby Likas with today's Car Clinic Minute. Anyone who's ever parked their car on an incline knows getting parked is just half the job. Getting out of park can be just as challenging. Do you know the trick? When I come back, I'll tell you. Here's how to avoid Heartbreak Hill. Ensure your car stays put while it's parked on an incline, and avoid the frustration of a shift lever that just won't budge when you're ready to go. Simply apply the parking brake, then put an automatic transmission in park, or a manual transmission in reverse gear. This puts the weight of the car right where it belongs, on your brakes. And remember, turn your wheels toward downhill curbs and away from uphill curbs. These tips can save you frustration and protect favorite property, your car. I'm Bobby Likas. Like us, you'll love us.
What does it take to live an uncommon life? Here's former Super Bowl winning coach Tony Dungy with today's uncommon moment.
It was more than 20 years ago that Nike created a huge advertising campaign around 3 words: just do it. I have to admit, it was pure genius. With that in mind, we probably will never feel ready to go and share the Word of God, but God wants us to just do it. We may be afraid to make a mistake and turn someone off, or be embarrassed that we might not have all the right words, experiences, or scripture references. But God is much bigger than all our inadequacies and mistakes. He simply wants our hearts ready and willing to share with others what He has done for us.
Tony Dungy, author of the popular Uncommon book series. More at CoachDungy.com. That's CoachDungy.com.
What's one of the best things for your immune system? Let's see. Hi, Doug Chamberlain with the Samaritan Ministries Family Health Checkup. Considering the season we're in, the best way to avoid getting sick is a healthy diet, exercise, and good hygiene. But another tool for your arsenal is loading up on vitamin C. It has many proven benefits like lowering blood pressure, reducing arthritis pain, and easing allergies and asthma. But as it relates to cold and flu symptoms, it's effective at boosting the immune system. And according to studies, increased dosages taken periodically throughout the day, whether in natural foods or by supplements, can actually shorten the duration of a cold. So when you feel cold symptoms coming on, or to get ahead of them, grab some vitamin C and take an effective step to staying healthy. For more, visit us on Facebook or at FamilyHealthCheckup.org.
What does it take to live an uncommon life? Here's former Super Bowl winning coach Tony Dungy with today's uncommon moment.
When I was coaching, we would have the players come in for a workout on Monday, then give them Tuesday off because many times a player suffered an injury in the game and didn't realize it until practice the next day. That day after workout revealed the need for treatment. The Bible says God blesses those who realize their need for Him. God loved us so much that He sent His only Son to die for us and take the punishment for our sin. All we have to do is have that desire, understand that we can't do it ourselves, and believe that God sent His Son for us. Have you ever accepted that free gift?
Tony Dungy, author of the popular Uncommon book series. More at CoachDungy.com. That's CoachDungy.com. take to live an uncommon life? Here's former Super Bowl winning coach Tony Dungy with today's uncommon moment.
Some people say that if you plant rusty nails with a pink blooming hydrangea, the flowers will change to blue over time. Supposedly it has something to do with adding metal to the soil, but gardeners know that it's because the hydrangea's color is affected by the pH level and the amount of aluminum in the soil. Like all plants, the hydrangea absorbs nutrients through its roots that benefit the final outcome. We're like that as well. Your mind is like a sponge, absorbing everything it dwells on. Is your mind a soiled sponge or a clean one? Keep it clean and focused on what will bring glory to God.
Tony Dungy, author of the popular Uncommon book series. More at CoachDungy.com. That's CoachDungy.com. What does it take to live an uncommon life? Here's former Super Bowl winning coach Tony Dungy with today's uncommon moment.
When I was a teenager, my parents let me stay out pretty late playing basketball with my friends. But that didn't happen right away. I had to earn the privilege by demonstrating that I could be trusted. They watched me closely at first, but over time, as I demonstrated that I could be trusted, they gradually increased my freedom. They understood that character begins with the little things in life. So many small things make up your character, your words, your thoughts, your actions, which help form how you instinctively respond to every situation. Don't let the small things slip. Start each day by looking for ways to show your character.
New York Times best-selling author Tony Dungy. More at CoachDungy.com. That's CoachDungy.com. What does it take to live an uncommon life? Here's former Super Bowl winning coach Tony Dungy with today's uncommon moment.
When I was a teenager, my parents let me stay out pretty late playing basketball with my friends. But that didn't happen right away. I had to earn the privilege by demonstrating that I could be trusted. They watched me closely at first, but over time, as I demonstrated that I could be trusted, they gradually increased my freedom. They understood that character begins with the little things in life. So many small things make up your character, your words, your thoughts, your actions, which help form how you instinctively respond to every situation. Don't let the small things slip. Start each day by looking for ways to show your character.
New York Times best-selling author Tony Dungy. More at CoachDungy.com. That's CoachDungy.com. What does it take to live an uncommon life? Here's former Super Bowl winning coach Tony Dungy with today's uncommon moment.
I can't help but wonder sometimes if the reason why it's difficult to forgive others is because we simply can't forgive ourselves for all the times we've fallen short of God's standard. So we turn around and don't forgive others. And our hearts begin to harden not only toward others, but towards ourselves. But God's plan of forgiveness provides total freedom for us from guilt over what we've done and from the bitterness towards others for what they've done to us. The ability to forgive is a reflection of a repentant, spiritually reborn heart. That repentance begins one-on-one with God. How willing are you to forgive yourself and others?
Tony Dungy, author of the popular Uncommon book series. More at CoachDungy.com. That's CoachDungy.com. What does it take to live an uncommon life? Here's former Super Bowl winning coach Tony Dungy with today's uncommon moment.
Michael Westbrook was a gifted wide receiver for the Washington Redskins and Cincinnati Bengals during an 8-year NFL career. He had succeeded at every level of football. Then at a relatively young age of 30, he retired and became active in mixed martial arts. Why? Because apparently he never even liked football, but felt he needed to play because it was expected of him. Many of us have experienced the expectations of others, but God made you the unique person you are. If your dreams develop in the process of seeking God's will and fit within His purposes, follow them. He wouldn't have given them to you if they were not important.
Tony Dungy, author of the popular Uncommon book series. More at CoachDungy.com. That's CoachDungy.com.
It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got to bat.
the Inside Drive. From college to the pros, interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good Wednesday morning. You're listening to the Inside Drive. Slight delay this morning, but we are here live and local on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida in Panama City Beach, 101.9 down there in Port St. Joe. Jay, you can watch, like, listen, comment, subscribe, share, follow. That is Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. All you got to do is search up ESPN Northwest Florida. And make sure you smash that subscribe, the like, whatever else you want to do. We appreciate you doing it. If you're already a follower, we appreciate you very much. As you know, the Coach James Hale Show every day from 7 to 9, the Inside Drive right here from 11 to 1, and, of course, the Afternoon Underdogs every 4 to 6 p.m. You can also download that free mobile app where, Jay?
Google Play or Apple Store.
That's it. All you got to do is search up 104.3. And it doesn't matter where you are. You could be in Alaska, where you're only getting a little bit of sunlight each day right now. And you could listen to us up there.
That's right.
You could listen to us in Maine.
Yep.
You could listen to us in Baja, California. Anywhere that you have cell phone service, so you can download that free mobile app. And, of course, ESPNPC.com. If you want to get some really, really affordable streaming service, you head over there to ESPNPC.com. Look for that TV channel icon. Sign up for Lucid Streams TV. Still offering that free 3-day trial, but it is only $41.99 a month. I guarantee that is less than you're paying right now if you are beyond just the over-the-air signals and you're actually paying for some kind of either cable or streaming service. I guarantee Lucid Streams TV is going to be more affordable than whatever you're currently doing. And they've got over 10,000 movies on demand, 2,000 streaming channels, pay-per-view, ESPN Plus, NFL Red Zone, pretty much anything you could possibly want to watch. You can watch Varsity Blues back to back to back to back to back. All that's right there on Lucid Streams TV. Again, that's right there at ESPNPC.com. Jay, coming up this weekend, it's America's game.
Is it?
And it's going to be right here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Okay.
Tell me what America's game is. I'm testing your knowledge this morning.
I feel like Cowboys and Giants.
It's not NFL, so you're already strike one.
Dang.
I know.
Let's see. America's game. Baseball's America's pastime. That's not happening right now.
Although Max Fried's gone.
Oh.
He's now a Yankee.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
About that here shortly.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll keep you up to date. I think he's doing something.
Yeah.
I don't think it's on your end.
Okay.
So I can hear you.
Yeah. I can't hear you. I can.
I feel like you're in a doctor. Oh, goodness. America's game. What is America's game?
America's game.
It happens the week after championship weekend every year. It's been going on for a long time.
Has it really?
Absolutely. It's
NBA?
No.
College football.
Yes, it's college football.
College football.
But who's playing in it?
Oh, thank you, Ryan. You just Navy Army.
There
is
you
it?
go.
Yeah,
It
Navy
is.
Army.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely. Usually they say Army Navy, but you did finally get
Navy
it right.
Army here in Panama City.
Yeah, that is true. That
Yeah.
is true. But yeah, first game between these two military institutions was in 1890. We got that game right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Coverage starts at 1 p.m. on Saturday. Kickoff at 2 p.m. Again, that is going to be the Navy Midshipmen and the 22-ranked American Athletic Conference champions, Army Black Knights. So if you don't have an opportunity to watch it on the TV and you're driving around, or you want to listen to it on our free mobile app, all you got to do is check that out. Again, coverage starts at 1 p.m. this Saturday, kickoff at 2 p.m. All right, Jay, a couple things locally. I want to update everybody on the girls Bay County Middle School tournament, as we had 4 games yesterday getting it kicked off. Jinx and the number 1 seed Jinx versus Breakfast Point Academy. Jinx ended up winning that one. Number 4 seed Mowat versus Surfside. Mowat won that one as well. So number 1 seed Jinx will play Mowat this afternoon at 4 p.m. over there at Jinx for a chance to head to the championship on the line. And then Bayhaven beat Rutherford, and University Academy beat Merritt Brown. So you've got Bayhaven, the 2 seed, and University Academy, the 3 seed, taking on each other at 4 p.m. tonight. One of the cool things they did this year with it is there's a consolation bracket all the way through. So you're not just you play one game and you're out. You actually get an opportunity to keep playing for 5th place, 7th place, 3rd place, and then of course your champion as well. So, but good luck to all the girls middle school basketball teams. And I know boys soccer gets underway with the playoffs next week, even though some of the schools are actually their last day before the winter break is this Friday coming up. So,
all right.
But yeah, also wanted to give a shout out to the Arnold Marlins basketball team who defeated Rutherford 51-47 last night over there at Arnold. That snapped a 31-game losing streak to the Rutherford Rams dating back to 2009. The Marlins now improved to 6-1. They host Mosley on Friday, and the Rams fall to 2-4 and will host South Walton on Friday as well. So congratulations to the Arnold Marlins. That is a long losing streak to a rival here in Bay County. So we got that. And then also we had Doc A on yesterday. I know you weren't here yesterday, but we had Doc A on yesterday. And he did pick some good bets. Luka Doncic did, in fact, get a double-double. And we did talk at length about the NBA Cup and our Orlando Magic, who make sure you stay tuned in to our app because we're taking a bunch of people back to Orlando on the Magic Express, the Holland Hearts Magic Express. That's going to be on Saturday, March 29th, where the Magic take on the Sacramento Kings. You get to hang out in the suite, eat, drink, be merry, and I believe it's even an overnight trip this year. So stay tuned for that. We'll keep you posted as we progress into the new year with contest details certainly coming soon. But those Orlando Magic, who have been one of the hottest teams in the league the last 30 days or so, they did lose in the quarterfinals to the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis, I think, had 37 points. His over-under, I think, was 30.5, so he did obviously beat that in the game, or if you bet that, he obviously cashed that one yesterday. But they won 114-109, and then the OKC Thunder, just too much for the Dallas Mavericks, 118-104 in that one. You've got 2 more quarterfinal games in the NBA Cup coming up tonight. You've got the New York Knicks versus your Atlanta Hawks, the 2 and 3 seed on the east side, with a trip to Vegas and a matchup against Giannis and the Bucks coming up this Saturday. And of course, on the west side, you've got the number 2 seed Rockets going against Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. Both those games, or actually, the first game's on ESPN. Second game will be on TNT for you there. And then, of course, the semifinals this Saturday and the championship, the in-season tournament, which is what it was called last year. The NBA Cup this year will be on the 17th, which I believe is Tuesday, right? Coming up yesterday was the 10th. 7 days would be
17th.
Tuesday as well.
Do you get Disneyland and Disney World mixed up?
Are you ever about the LA and the ORD?
I just found that out.
Yeah.
That was weird. Is that affiliated with?
It might just be a straight coincidence.
Is it?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, though. Disneyland has LA, which is where Disneyland is. I was obviously born in California. I lived there for only 5 years, but we had been to Disneyland. So I've always known that Disneyland was in California and Disney World was in Orlando. But yeah, World, ORD, which is your
ORL.
ORL, which is your Orlando.
That was weird.
So there you go. If you ever get confused, just look at the letters in the name.
Which one's better?
Disney World.
Is it?
Yep. Just way bigger, more stuff to do.
Gotcha.
Disneyland's like a smaller version of Disney World. Now they have different stuff. Not each of them has the same stuff, but yeah, Land is smaller than World.
Gotcha.
Which makes sense. You're talking about land, and then you're talking about the world.
True.
So
that's true.
I mean, the adjectives kind of have it in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, real quick shout out to Dynasty Flag Football. Had a nice solid victory yesterday. Lots of kids got in on the action. Several pick sixes, but yeah, that was good stuff.
There's nothing stopping that Dynasty team.
I don't know. There's several good teams in our league. Huge league. 9 teams in the 4th, 5th division. So kudos to Southern Elite Sport. And one of the cool things is they've had 3 referees in each game, which I think is fantastic.
That's amazing.
Fantastic. So, obviously referees, if we don't have referees, we don't have youth sports. So good to see the support for all the youth athletics out there, not only from Southern Elite, but the referees that are diving into it as well. We'll talk about, we got to go ahead and take a quick break. When we get back, I'll talk about what I was alluding to and where Max Fried is landed in the offseason. You guys are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
We're up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Hurricane Helene.
And breaking weather as it happens.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, clear skies and a high of 56 with a moderate breeze coming out of the north-northwest around 18 miles per hour. For tonight, clear skies and a low near 39. Tomorrow, wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, sunny and a high around 58. For Friday, mostly sunshine and a high of 66. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Dak Cajun Place is your LSU and Saints football headquarters. Saints and LSU fans, wear your team colors and score a free Jell-O shot when your team scores a touchdown. Only at Dak Cajun Place. Get $5 pitchers on select draft beers during all live football games. Catch all the games at once with the NFL package on 27 large TVs at Dak Cajun Place. And the best wings on the beach. The locals' favorite, Dak Cajun Place.
The locals love it.
You're gonna love this. You are my favorite. It's my favorite.
Everybody's favorite. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. All right, Jay, back in studio today. We were going to do it yesterday, but we picked a couple, but we'll get you going here with the college football playoff. We're going to go ahead and pick our bracket, right? So I got you one printed out there for you. All you need is a pen and your wealth of expertise when it comes to picking college football games. All right, and we'll review, because I'm sure you don't remember all the matchups because you've slept a few times.
You got that right.
Getting close to that winter solstice, shortest day of the year, what, December 21st, I believe it is? Winter solstice, summer solstice in the summer, longest day of the year. But hey, once we hit the 21st, then it starts getting a little bit longer on each side of the day.
Different information.
Yeah, I don't think there is different information. I've always known that the summer solstice is around around June 20th, 21st, and then the winter solstice around December 20th, 21st.
Interesting.
Shortest and longest day of the year.
That's fair. I mean,
because of our, because of our angle, and then of course our distance and our orbit to the sun.
I drank faucet water this morning. I think I'm okay.
No.
I forgot to boil it.
Well, so far so good. You actually look a little sprier than usual, so maybe it was like Spider-Man and it had some stuff in there to get you going.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little yellow this morning.
You're also
it's like rusty.
Not only are you supposed to boil it, you're supposed to let it run for at least 15 to 30 minutes.
Are you?
Yes, you got to clear the line out. Man. What did he say? What did you say?
I was born at night, but not last night.
It seems like you were born last night. Right. Drinking out of that water, and then but no, and also kudos to the guys down there working on that pipe, man. I mean, I know people are so impatient, and they're like, why did this happen? This shouldn't happen. But stuff happens, and these guys are down there in that ditch all day long, and I know how much work that is. We had our main line at Bay Point bust, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and Scott and Dustin and those guys were down there all day trying to get that back up and running. That is not easy to do. No. So kudos to the workers that got everybody up and running. But yes, Jay, we're still under a boil water notice. Okay. So don't be drinking water out of the faucet. And, maybe you should have let it run for a little while.
Well, if you live like in the northeast part of the beach, like up towards Hathaway, it was 2 days ago, everybody lost power up there. And then we lost water. Man. I tell you, I'm thanking God today for electricity, water, all of it. Because I tell you, it's a different world when you don't have electricity and water.
No doubt. Obviously, with the hurricanes aplenty, a lot of people have been dealing with that this year, and I don't know certain areas in that North Carolina corridor. Probably still don't even have water or power.
Oh my gosh!
If even getting close to at this point. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, kudos to everybody that was working hard on getting over. I think it was over 10,000 people back hooked up to water. But it came on. We got back from flag football late last night, about 8:45, and the water was just turned on as we pulled in. So I let the bathtub run for about 30 minutes.
You did the right thing.
Yeah. It's not my first rodeo. I mean, I don't know when the last time it happened is, but it's obviously happened before. I think in South Carolina we had to deal with it one time, but no big deal. No big deal. All right, before we get to this playoff bracket, Jay Henley, let's talk about your boy Max Fried. Yesterday, he agreed to a record 8-year, $218 million contract in free agency. Do you have any idea where he went?
I have no clue.
Give me a guess.
Mets.
No.
Dodgers.
No. You're in the realm.
Took his money and ran.
You're in the realm.
All right, let's go Angels.
No.
Yankees?
Yes.
Okay.
The Yankees. Obviously, after a stellar 8-year run with the Braves, Max Fried has cashed in by securing a lucrative contract with the New York Yankees in free agency. Per Jeff Passan of ESPN, Fried agreed to an 8-year, $218 million deal with the Yankees. This deal includes a full no-trade clause and has no opt-outs or deferrals, per Joel Sherman of the New York Post. According to Rob Bradford of WEEI, New York's offer to Fried was significantly better than that of American League East rival Boston Red Sox, which are also in the market for pitching this winter. The news comes 2 days after the Yankees lost Juan Solo, who reportedly signed a 15-year, $765 million contract with the Mets. Fried was originally selected by the San Diego Padres back in 2012 with the 7th overall pick. He spent 2 years in the organization before being traded to the Braves as part of the Justin Upton deal in 2014 in December. At the time of the trade, Fried was recovering from Tommy John surgery that kept him out for all of 15. He returned to action in the minors in 16 before making his MLB debut late in the 27 season. It wasn't until 19 that Fried carved out a permanent role in Atlanta's rotation. He had a breakout season during the 2020 season that was shortened to only 16 games due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The left-hander went 7-0 with a 2.25 ERA and finished 5th in the NL Cy Young voting. Fried's worst season by ERA was in 2024 when he had the 3.25 mark in 29 starts. He had been named an All-Star 2 of the past 3 years, finishing 2nd in Cy Young voting in 2022. Obviously, the 30-year-old is near and dear to the Braves' hearts because back in Game 6 of the 2021 World Series, he was on the bump against the Houston Astros. He threw 6 shutout innings, allowing 4 hits and with 6 strikeouts in a 7-0 victory. In wake of Atlanta's postseason loss to the Padres last season, Fried expressed hope that the two sides would be able to work out a long-term deal to keep him. Wearing the Braves uniform means everything, Fried said. It is an organization that traded for me and gave me the opportunity to come to the big leagues and be an established big league player. I obviously don't know what's going to happen, but I've absolutely loved every minute of it and hope to have many more. Obviously, that has certainly changed. But losing Fried puts the Atlanta Braves in a tricky spot going into next year. Strider could miss some time to start the 2025 season while still recovering from elbow surgery. He did decide to go with the internal brace procedure rather than Tommy John, and that shortens that recovery just a little bit. Obviously, Chris Sale had a great rebound year in 2024 that earned him the NL Cy Young, but he's going to be 36 at the start of next season and was able to pitch in the playoffs due to a back injury. While the Braves have a lot to figure out in their rotation, Fried will join the Yankees pitching staff in 2025 and beyond. He's been one of the most reliable starters in baseball since 2019. Fried's 18.4 Fangraphs wins above replacement, WAR, or over the past 6 seasons ranks 5th among NL starters, trailing only Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, Max Scherzer, and Logan Webb. After keeping Garrett Cole following a bit of uncertainty about his opt-out situation, the Yankees are adding another frontline starter to their rotation. Carlos Rodon had a solid 24 campaign, but he's been underwhelming overall since signing a 6-year, $162 million contract with the Yankees in free agency. Nestor Cortez Jr. is a fine mid-rotation starter who hasn't pitched at the level he did to start the 22 season, when he's earned the All-Star selection. Marcus Stroman, who signed with the Yankees last offseason, couldn't make their playoff roster after a rough regular season. Luis Gil has tremendous upside with devastating changeup if he can ever harness his control after walking 77 batters in just 151.2 innings. Fried will slot behind goal to give the Bronx Bombers a formidable duo at the top of their pitching staff, while also moving other starters in the rotation down a slot as they try to get back to the World Series after losing to the Dodgers in 5 games. What do you think, Jay? Going to be weird to see old Max in a Yankees uniform.
Anytime you've got a left-handed pitcher that can make the ball kind of dance around the plate like him, you got to try to keep him. And unfortunately, the Braves have, I don't know what they're going to do, but they got to find somebody better than Fried, and good luck.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure that out quick. Hey, and we talked about this on Monday with the Soto contract. Like,
yeah, I said DeSoto.
Just yes, the Explorer. The Explorer.
Yeah.
We should have an Explorer quiz for you. But I mean, it's just the rich keep getting richer.
Yep.
If you got the money to spend, I don't know. Baseball is just weird. I guess you just spend as much as you want. You pay the luxury tax, and you go from there.
Right.
I don't know. But anyway, Max Fried is no longer an Atlanta Brave. And then speaking of,
how do you? And that's the thing with Max Fried is how do you buy into the Braves program like that? And I know it's all about the money, it seems, but how do you buy into that program of the Atlanta Braves and then go play for the Yankees, which is like the most hated team that the Braves, like besides the Mets and Dodgers. But anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of our Braves fans here in the Panhandle were probably disappointed that it was certainly the Yankees that he made the move to. That is for sure. But one more update before we do this pick'em here. The number 1 college player in high school in the class of 2025 made his commitment yesterday. And I apologize if I butcher his name. AJ Dibantasa. He's the number 1 player in the class of 2025. He committed, Jay, to BYU. We're talking about college basketball. He did that over heavyweights UNC, Kansas, and Alabama. Now, why on earth do you think he would commit to BYU, Jay? What did you just say about Max Fried?
Is he a Mormon?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
But what did you say about Max Fried, though?
Oh, greed.
It's all about what?
Money.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, obviously, he is currently playing his senior year in Utah. He's from Utah, and he did cite the coaching staff's NBA experience as a reason to choose the Cougars. However, name, image, and likeness is a big factor in his decision. He will reportedly receive close to $7 million in NIL, a massive number compared to other valuations, especially considering he'll almost certainly be a one-and-done college basketball. It's a big risk indeed. But yes, keep an eye out for that name, Dibantasa, Dybantasa, and looking at his highlights, an unbelievable player, well-deserving of the number 1 recruit coming out of high school. But hey, BYU is not just a football school now. They're trying to get into the basketball game as well. All right, Jay, let's have some fun with the college football playoff bracket pick'em. All right, we'll let you start first, and I'm going to ask you some questions about each matchup as well. So
please don't.
Okay, well, you have to. You have no choice. I'm going to ask you one way or the other. Your choice to answer the question, that's completely up to you. All right, let's start with the 9 and the 8 seed. That is going to be Tennessee traveling up there to the Shoe in Columbus, Ohio on Saturday, December 21st. Coverage right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Who do you like in that game, Jay?
Oh, boy. It's a toss-up.
Well, that's why you're picking it.
Yeah. Let's go. Ohio State has the home field advantage.
Correct. First time ever college football playoffs have on-campus games.
Yes, sir. December 21, 8 p.m. Eastern. Let's go Ohio State Buckeyes.
All right, going with Ohio State. There you go. I'm actually going to go with the Tennessee Volunteers. I think there's the pressure on Ryan Day, whether it's merited or not, warranted or not, is going to catch up. Obviously, he lost to Michigan again. Hopefully, they call the plays a little bit differently and use the top wide receivers in the country. But Tennessee's got a great defense and a huge opportunity in front of them as well. So I'm actually going to go with the Tennessee Volunteers in this one. All right, which game do you want to pick next? I'll let you choose.
Let's go Clemson, Texas.
All right, Clemson and Texas. Does Quinn Ewers, that's the quarterback of Texas, Jay, did his poor performance in the SEC championship, does that worry you on Texas's ability to beat the Clemson Tigers?
I think Quinn, no Quinn, they win.
Quinn, no Quinn, they win?
Yeah.
That's like a T-shirt right there.
Yeah.
So if it's Quinn or if it's you think there's a shot Arch Manning plays?
Yeah, I think so. And yeah, I mean, I just don't think Clemson has a chance to beat this Texas team.
So you're taking Texas?
Absolutely.
I'm taking the Clemson Tigers.
No way.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you?
I watched that SEC championship from start to finish, and Clemson's got a good defense. Dabo's coached in these games before. I could see Texas, or I could see Clemson beating Texas in this one.
What in the
Just
world?
because they're the last team to get in.
Okay.
They had to play their way to get in, too. Texas lost and got in. So there's a little different mentality when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I think Texas is extremely vulnerable. I don't trust Quinn Ewers. Watching a lot of those throws, they should have beat Georgia had he played a little better football. And I don't want to put all the onus on the quarterback, but the fade route, he missed so many throws that one would consider a routine, easier throw. And I don't know. Is the stage too big for Quinn Ewers? I don't know. We'll find out. But yes, I'm taking Clemson in the upset over the Texas Longhorns, and that is the 3 p.m. Central Time game on Saturday, December 21st. Again, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. All right, Jay, let's go SMU Penn State. I don't have a lot of thought on this one other than I think Penn State's just a better football team, and it's being played in Happy Valley. The weather's going to be cold. Those boys from Dallas aren't going to be ready for that kind of weather, and I think Penn State wins that football game. What do you think?
Yeah, right there with you. I'm going to take Penn.
And it's going to be a whiteout from what I understand. And that is another 11 a.m. kickoff for the Big Ten, again, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. All right, and the only other first-round game is the Battle of the State of Indiana. That is Indiana making the short trip to South Bend to take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who did not have to play in a conference championship game or not even have an opportunity to because they don't play in a conference. What do you think about this one?
I can just vision Georgia. Let's see. I'm envisioning Georgia playing Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't envision Indiana making it there. I don't know why. I just can't.
I think Notre Dame's just got a better talented team. And you know, obviously Indiana's had a fantastic year. Nathan Rourke's a great quarterback, but the one game they had to play a good team, they just, really couldn't step up to the plate. And, you never know. It's an in Indiana game, which is kind of cool. The two teams from Indiana in the playing each other in the first round. That is the Friday night game, December 20th at 7 p.m. Again, it'll be right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. All right, Jay, so we got to continue on. Obviously,
are you taking Notre Dame?
Yes, I'm
okay.
Sorry.
No,
yes, I'm taking Notre Dame.
Okay.
All right, so obviously we have some different matchups on the top of the quarterfinals. The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl up there in Atlanta on January 1st, 12 p.m. kickoff in the Central Time Zone. I've got Clemson and Arizona State. You've got Texas and Arizona State. Who do you have advancing to the Cotton Bowl in the playoff semifinals?
I'm taking the great state of Texas.
Taking the great state of Texas.
I am.
I feel wild about this one. I'm actually going to take Arizona State to beat Clemson in that one. Sun Devils, they got the trident. Scatterboo is my favorite player in college football. Kenny Dillingham's a fantastic story, younger than all of us. ASU shocks the world and moves on to the playoff semifinals on January 10th in the Cotton Bowl.
All right.
All right, next, I think you have Ohio State, right?
Ohio
State, and I have Tennessee versus Oregon. I picked Oregon to win the national championship before the season started. I got to stick with the Ducks, and I've got Oregon beating Tennessee in the Rose Bowl again on January 1st. Man, these days of football are just going to be absolutely wild coming up here over the next 3 or 4 weeks. So, all right, what do you got? You got Ohio State losing to Oregon again, or you got them beating them this time? It's tough to beat a team twice unless you're named Georgia.
The buck stops with the Buckeyes on January 1. Oregon defeats Ohio State, and that is going to be one heck of a matchup between Texas and Oregon in the Cotton Bowl January 10th.
There you go. There you go. We got to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll finish picking this bracket. You guys listen to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the most college basketball.
Three-pointer, college basketball is back.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
The SEC, ACC, and beyond.
Oh, you saw that coming, Rampant.
The biggest games play right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
Attention homeowners, are you dreaming of a backyard oasis? Look no further than SNR Fencing, your go-to destination for quality outdoor transformations. At SNR, they specialize in crafting custom fences, decks, retainer walls, and all exterior construction that not only enhances the beauty of your home, but also stands the test of time. Their experienced team takes pride in delivering top-notch craftsmanship with a personal touch. SNR Fencing, locally owned, licensed, and insured, and a member of the BBB.
Don't mind me. I'm just playing through. Now back to the Inside Drive, live and local from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Coming up at the top of the hour, it's Wednesday. That means we've got your friend Keith Fleming coming on. He wants to discuss Super Bowl favorites and also, of course, give you your Week 15 official lineup for DFS. We've only got 4 weeks of regular season football left, Jay.
Did he call into the show yesterday?
He did. He did call into the show. He wanted to rant a little bit. And yeah, that's kind of what it was.
He ranted, didn't he?
Yeah, he ranted about the Falcons. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine Imagine that. And we discussed the fact: do you stick with Kirk Cousins or do you make the move with Michael Penix?
What did he say?
He said to make the move to Michael Penix. I think you stick with Kurt. You're still right there, one game out of leading the division, and you don't know what you've got with Penix. Obviously, you've seen what he has in practice. He hasn't started a game yet. He got a little preseason work, but Kirk Cousins, although has been playing absolutely atrociously, I still think gives you your best shot of winning games because of his experience. And their schedule is really not too tough the rest of the way. They got a tough one coming up this week, but then after that, they should be able to win most of their games. But obviously, Kurt's thrown 1 million interceptions in the last 4 or 5 games and not a whole lot of touchdowns. So, but and I still think he's dealing a little bit with that Achilles stuff, and it hurt him this year. But again, Michael Penix could be fantastic, or he could be a dud. You just don't know. And to put a guy in for his first NFL starts and action when you have a playoff opportunity on the line, that's a big ask for a young kid.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it. All right, Jay, let's jump back into the bracket. Next, we got to do the VRBO Fiesta Bowl. I've got Penn State and Boise State. I believe you have Penn State and Boise State as well, right?
I do.
All right, who you got in this one? Again, all these games will be right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. This will be New Year's Eve at 6:30 p.m.
Are they the Cowboys, Boise State?
The Broncos.
The Broncos, okay.
You're in the right realm of Western stuff, so,
Let's go Broncos.
Ooh, I like it. I'm also going with Boise State as well. I'm just rooting for pure chaos in this thing. So I like. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Ashton Genty, and I think he kind of is able to get through that Penn State front seven and turn the game for the Broncos a little bit. And they move on to the playoff semifinals and just blow everybody's mind the fact that they got that number 3 seed. All right, who is going to be playing them in the Capital One Orange Bowl on January 9th. Again, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida, 6:30 p.m. kickoff in that one. I know we both have Notre Dame versus Georgia.
We do.
I would assume you're going with the Wolves.
Larry Mutson said it back in the 90s. There's sugar falling from the sky. I'm going to take Georgia Bulldogs.
There you go. I'm also taking the Bulldogs as well. I don't trust Notre Dame with that level of competition. My only concern for Georgia is how bad is this injury for Carson Beck, and is it Stockton? Gunnar Stockton. Is he got enough in his mental ability to win these big time playoff games?
He's got the fight in the dog. There's no doubt about that. But I don't know about the mental capacity.
Well, I mean, because this is
huge.
This is obviously a large stage for the young man, and it feels like Carson Beck's injury is something to do with that UCL, that Tommy John action area, right. And we haven't really heard anything about it. And college is different than NFL when it comes to injury reports and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we should. That's my only concern for Georgia. Obviously, Notre Dame is led by Duke transfer Riley Leonard, who's had a good year and done what he's needed to do for the Fighting Irish to be where they are. But I will still take Georgia in the Sugar Bowl over Notre Dame. All right, that leads us to, let's do the bottom one first because we have the same teams. That's the Capital One Orange Bowl on January 9th, 6:30 p.m. kickoff here in the Central Time Zone. Boise State and UGA. Who you got, Jay?
Both teams by this point have to be exhausted.
I mean, they're basically playing an NFL schedule at this point.
Georgia's already played an extra game this year with all the overtimes.
One play at a time anyway.
Yeah. I've got to pick my dogs here. I've got to go Georgia. Winning against Boise State.
All right, so you got Old Stockton. It's got to be Stockton. It's Stockton, right?
Stockton.
Okay. Yeah. You got him leading them all the way to the national championship. Good stuff. Good stuff. And they got the bye, so they got 2 weeks worth of rest and 2 weeks for him to prep and get ready. But prepping and get ready against your scout teams is not quite the same as live football action there. All right, I'm actually going to go with the Boise State Broncos in this one. I'm riding the Ashton Genty train, the Smurf turf all the way. way to the national championship. All right, top of the bracket. I've got ASU versus Oregon in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl on January 10th. Again, another 6:30 p.m. kickoff. It'll be right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. I've got my Ducks. Picked them to start. Pick them on all the way. Oregon Ducks in the national championship against the Boise State Broncos. Wouldn't that be something just to absolutely blow everybody's mind? No SEC team for me in the national championship. I'm sure I'm getting crucified right now on social media, but hey, if you want to pick a bracket, you can certainly do that as well. All right, Jay, who you got in your matchup?
Well, you kind of know where I'm going with this, right? I mean,
for the third time this year?
For the third time this year.
I just don't see how it could happen.
I have Texas and Georgia in the national championship at the same place.
Yeah.
At the same
place as the SEC championship.
Yep.
No doubt. All right, the biggest question, I've already told you who I'm sticking with them the entire time. Who do you got winning it?
You know, yours is on the cover of NCAA football, right? Is
one of the versions, yeah.
Is that a jinx move? That's not.
That's never been the curse like the Madden curse certainly is.
I just don't think, even though I'm a Georgia fan, I just don't think Georgia can beat Texas 3 times in a row. So I'm going to take Texas as your 2025
national champions.
Call me crazy.
Hey, it's not crazy at all. If it happens, it's certainly not crazy. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. But yeah, no, I like it. I like it. A little SEC national championship, which we've seen before, even with just the 4 teams, multiple times. But yeah, the Texas Longhorns taking down your Dogs.
Yeah.
For Sark's first ever national championship as a head coach.
That's right.
I think the last time Texas won the national championship was Vince Young against USC when he ran that in late in the game. That was one of the best national championships I've seen in a long time. Yes, Dave Neat, go Ducks indeed. Yeah, hey, we'll find out come next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday when the college football playoff, we'll call it tournament, gets underway. All right, Jay, transfer portal.
Who you got? You got Ducks. You got the Ducks.
I picked the Ducks before the season started.
I got you.
I gotta keep the Ducks all the way through. Now, them playing Boise State the national championship, maybe a little out there, but that's why this is a fun pick 'em.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to pick the favorites in all these games, that'd be certainly something I could do. But no, I like it. I like the parity that this has brought about. Obviously, teams feel left out. Some teams, may have deserved to be in, but hey, that's why the College Football Committee has that tough task of ranking everybody this past Sunday. Doc A didn't even know that the rankings had been, or that the bracket had been set yesterday when we talked to him.
Who said that?
Doc A.
Really?
Yeah, he's
a basketball guy.
I know, but still, he thought it was last night. But I was like, well, yeah, no, Jay's not here, so you're filling in for him. We appreciate that very, very much. Transfer portal action. There is a bunch of people in the transfer portal. The window opened up earlier this week, and kind of talking about some of the top names in there right now. Eric Singleton Jr. is the highest-ranked player in the portal right now. He was with Georgia Tech. He has entered the portal. He is a wide receiver, 5'11", 190. He's got a .95 composite ranking out of high school, and he is currently the number 1 player in the transfer portal. Number 2 in the transfer portal is Deuce Robinson, another wide receiver, 6'6", 220, Jay. He was at SC and obviously has not mentioned where he is going yet, as they do have some time to figure that out. Number 3 in there is the Florida State quarterback, Luke Kromenhoek. He is 6'4", 208. Saw a little action when DJ Uiagalelei went out again with an injury, and apparently he is trying to come back for another season of football. But Luke has entered the transfer portal, the top quarterback in the transfer portal, and has a lot of people, or a lot of schools that have been reaching out to him. Number 4, this player entered the portal earlier and has already made the decision on where they go. That is Princewell Unamamalen. He's an edge rusher, played at Nebraska, 6'5", 245. 25, he has decided to join Lane Kiffin and the Ole Miss Rebels, as Lane Kiffin just kind of seems to be the king of the transfer portal. Number 5 on the list, Hunter Zambrano. He is an outside linebacker. He is the number 5 ranked player in the transfer portal. What team is that? He was at Illinois State, and he has entered the transfer portal and has not made a decision yet. See, that makes a little more, some of the quote-unquote smaller schools, these guys, now have the opportunity with the transfer portal after they get some work in there to jump in there and make some things. The more surprising stuff is the players on these big-time teams that are making these moves. Number 6 on this list, Patrick Kutas. He is was at Arkansas, entered the transfer portal. He's an interior offensive lineman. He is 6'5", 313. He has already made a decision on where he's going. Jay, guess where he's going?
I have no clue.
What is the theme that I just mentioned before when I mentioned the other player that has made a decision? The king. Who is the king of the transfer portal?
Dabo?
No, he's the opposite of that. I just said his name. Ole Miss.
Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin has landed the 6th ranked player. Again, this is Patrick Kutas. He's an interior offensive lineman. He has decided after he entered the portal, he's going to be going with the Ole Miss Rebels. I'll go through 10, Jay. Number 7 on this list, Dane Keene. He's another wide receiver, 6'3", 210. He was at Kentucky, now in the transfer portal. Nick Anderson, another wide receiver, 6'4", 216 from Oklahoma, in the portal, yet to declare or yet to make a decision on where he is going. Fernando Mendoza, the 2nd highest quarterback in the portal, 6'5", 225. He was at Cal, had a great season this year at Cal. He is in the portal as well. And then Jaheim Otis, a defensive lineman from the University of Alabama. He is the 10th ranked player in this one. He is committed, not committed, but he has announced that he is going to Colorado for the next season. And then Casey Concepcion, big time player at NC State. Great. He's a smaller guy, but super fast. Great slot guy. Gets the ball in his hands. He's got great speed. He is from NC State, and he is currently in the portal as well. Jay, I want to get your thoughts on this little nugget or story out of University of Florida. But basically, what do you think about guys doing this? Jack Pyburn wanted some guarantees from the Florida Gators and the NIL stuff. He wanted $45,000 per month. He wanted to have a guaranteed starting position at outside linebacker, guaranteed to play on 3rd downs, and more snaps in the rotation. Florida obviously wasn't willing to agree to any of those things, so guess what he did?
What?
He entered the portal. What do you think about guys kind of demanding stuff like that?
It just reminds me of the old Caddyshack where the boy goes, I want a hamburger, I want a hot dog, and then he goes, you get nothing and like it.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's crazy. I mean, back up a little bit, $45,000 a month? This isn't even real life. This is not real life.
Well, he got told no, so he's in the portal now.
I mean, I guess you can. Well, there's a theme here. I mean, unless you ask, you will not receive.
Yeah.
I mean,
what do you say? What do you say? Because just ask. What's the worst thing they can say?
Say no.
But then now you're not on Florida's program anymore because you entered the transfer portal. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Interesting stuff, but the transfer portal is all full of fresh players looking to make a move somewhere else. But just remember, Jay, the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
No.
And sometimes, we talk about this every year when we talk about these transfer portal windows and guys going in. Like, how many of these guys enter the portal but then never land anywhere?
Right.
And are just floating around in college football, quote-unquote, free agency.
As in life. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day about, just life in general, right? If you're poor, you want to be rich. If you're rich, you probably don't have the time to, utilize the money. I mean, if you're single, you want to be married. If you're married, you want to be single. I mean, you could just keep going on and on. It's the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing.
Everything, yeah. It's a good point.
The grass is not greener on the other side.
Nah, sometimes it can be.
Sometimes it can be, yeah.
But usually that's more up to you and your personality and your work ethic and those things, not necessarily by chance and fate situations.
That's right.
But, coming up next at the top of the hour, it's our good friend Keith Fleming. Week 15 of the NFL slate. Who is his official lineup going to encompass? We will find out next. You're listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd.
Josh Allen is the greatest quarterback talent I've ever seen. Huge arm, 255, and produced 400-plus yards. Again, he's done it 11 times. And you know what his record is in those games? 5-6. This franchise continues to let him down.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, clear skies and a high of 56 with a moderate breeze coming out of the north-northwest around 18 miles per hour. For tonight, clear skies and a low near 39. Tomorrow, a wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, sunny and a high around 58. For Friday, mostly sunshine and a high of 66. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
It's the season of New Traditions sales event going on now at Bill Bird Kia. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 60 months of the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento or a new 2025 Kia Sportage. Take your next holiday adventure in a brand new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento or new 2025 Kia Sportage with $1,748 per month per $1,000 financed in 60 months. Quantity is limited, not to be combined with other finance offers and not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 1/2/25.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Skyrockets in flight.
And now, the afternoon delight debrief with the three degenerates from the Inside Drive. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
Afternoon delight.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida 104.3 in Panama City and Panama City Beach. Jay, what do you got to do when it's windy?
Swing easy.
Yeah, it's easy. When it's breezy, swing easy. And it is breezy out there right now. Gale warnings in effect. The Bay had some white caps, but the warm weather is coming back soon. At a stretch, the thing about December, it can be cold, but it can also be warm. January, February, that's more of our winter here in Bay County. But yeah, Panama City Beach, and of course 101.9 down there in Port St. Joe. Beautiful down there. A little chilly, but go shop local. Make a little trip over there to Port St. Joe, Apalachicola. Spend some money in those shops and make sure you support local. All these local businesses up and down Bay County, Gulf County, all around this area. You spend the money. Those are the people that live and work in these counties.
That's
and
right.
You got to support local.
Yeah.
And supporting local as well as going to golfwithjay.com and getting yourself either a lesson or a gift certificate. Stocking stuffers are certainly a need.
That's right.
And that's an easy way to do it, right, Jay?
It is. Yeah, very easy.
That's it.
Yeah.
You get a nice little green gift card, and you can use it however you want. Golf, dinner, whatever it may be. It's right there at Golf with Jay.
I don't know about the dinner part now. I mean,
you're not going to turn somebody down, right? 60 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to spend it on the driving range, though.
What if they want to spend it in the bunker?
Well, there you go. Yeah, you could do it in the bunker, and that's where we probably mostly need to be, right?
Yeah. A lot of people like to do it in the bunker.
There's specialty shots, and specialty shots.
Specialty shots. It's a very specific form, or a very specific way you've got to hit a bunker shot. That's
Mulvey,
for sure.
I can't keep a straight face.
No, you never can.
No,
you wouldn't be Jay Henley if you could. You could. But anyway, we appreciate you tuning in on social media. If you're doing that, that is Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You probably searched up ESPN Northwest Florida. If you didn't, that's all you got to do to find it. We stream live every day, Monday through Friday, the Coach James Sales Show from 7 to 9, Inside Drive from 11 to 1, and, of course, the Afternoon Underdogs from 4 to 6 p.m. You can also head over to Google Play or Apple Store and just search 104.3, and our free mobile app will pop up. And, of course, last but not least, you can head over to ESPNPC.com. You can click Listen Live there as well. But while you're there, sign up for Lucid Streams TV. We're watching it in the studio right now. It is fantastic. Over 10,000 movies on demand. You got to get your Christmas movies in, as the season will be gone and past before we know it. And, of course, over 2,000 streaming channels, ESPN Plus, NFL Red Zone, NBA, NHL. When MLB is back on, it's right there on Lucid Streams as well. You can't beat it. $41.99 a month, and they're still offering a free 3-day trial. I suggest doing it on Fridays. That way you got it all the way through the weekend. Also, a big shout out to our studio sponsor, Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoor, right there at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street. Lots of new vehicles in stock. 24s need to go out because the 25s are in, and that lot is full of beautiful vehicles. And if you're looking for a Christmas gift, that's another great place to certainly find one there. And as I always mentioned, if you own your own business and looking for that big time tax write-off, 6,000 pounds or more, doesn't have to be brand new either. You just have to purchase it in that year, and it has to be new to your business, and you get to write off 90% of that in the first year. You can find one of the awesome salesmen or women at Bill Kramer GM, and they will make it easy and take great care of you and find that perfect car. And also, obviously, not the best day to be out on the water today, but when the weather gets nice again, if you have a boat that needs some work, Kramer Marine and Outdoor will come to you with their mobile service. And again, Christmas presents. You're looking for a new trolling motor. You're looking for a new depth finder. Maybe some kind of cool accessory for your boat. Kramer Marine and Outdoor not only has those accessories, but can install those accessories for you, as they are a Yamaha outboard full-line dealer. They have a Yamaha Master Certified mechanic on staff. And if you're looking to buy a new or used boat, Kramer Marine and Outdoor is the place to go. They sell the family of CRI. That is Sundance, Spider, and Skeeter. And technically, I always do. The Skeeter's not part of that CRI family, but it wouldn't be the same if we didn't go through it and then you say Skeeter each time. Right. You can check out all that new and used inventory at KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. All right, it's Wednesday, although he did call in yesterday to discuss some of the Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins stuff, but it's our good friend, DFS expert. He is all over these internet, social media world, getting pied in the face. He's going to have to tell us about that, as our good friend, Keith. Keith, good to hear from you again today. Let's start with the pie in the face. What was that all about?
Well, being a Falcons fan, doing a waiver wire show with some fans of other teams, we started making pie bets early in the year. And to be honest, I took what I thought was the easy road, because two of the fans are Packers fans. The Falcons don't play the Bears, which is the other team that the person on our show roots for. So I'm like, look, I'll take a pie bet, versus the Vikings, thinking Sam Darnold, Vikings, this is easy peasy. I'm not going to lie, going into last week, I didn't feel great. And, of course, they lost. The joy that my wife got out of hitting me in the face with the pies was a little, I don't know. Maybe we got a kink going on for my wife. Who knows? But we'll have to explore that later. But it was not a fun time, and it's just another way the Falcons have hurt my heart. And this time, my body. But interesting stuff. It's getting good buzz on social media, which I thought was fun. We have a good time on that waiver wire show. I highly recommend it. We talk about everything. It is not just a fantasy football show. We will be pivoting, by the way, on that show, Fantasy and Friends Waiver Wire Show, back to a draft show starting week 16, week 17, because they have some best ball tourneys for the rest of the season once the playoffs start. And so we're going to go back to what we did during the off season, where we'll be drafting teams. Obviously, there's the combination of you want good players, but you also want teams that you think are going to go far in the playoffs, because they'll keep playing and keep accruing points to where teams that are eliminated won't. And Kevin Tompkins, who's on the show, is just one of the best ball players in the world. Seriously, dude is a phenom at that stuff. So you should check it out. And just want to also add, hearing about the Jays, Lesson's a great stocking stuffer. Jay, I don't know if you remember, but you gave me a 5-minute lesson in the bunker about 5 years ago.
I still remember it, Keith.
To this day, I am one of the best bunker players around. And anytime somebody goes, man, you're really good out of the bunkers, I just say 5 minutes with Jay Henley. And they're like, really? And I go, seriously, 5 minutes, that's all it took? And here we are.
If I've had $1 for every time I've heard somebody say it just takes 5 minutes with Jay Henley, I'd have like $1,000.
They're normally women, though, so in fairness.
He's the gift that keeps on giving, no doubt. And that's the thing about golf lessons is, a lot of times it can be something just really simple to point you in the right direction, to give you something to work with to make sure that you're at least loaded with the knowledge of how to approach various different shots. And obviously bunker shots are certainly one of those with a very
That was a perfect example. He just told me basically to stay forward. Like he saw me not staying on that lead foot, leaning on that left side. He's like, you got great hands. He was like, just stay on that left side, you'll be good. And I'm serious, like, once I did that, it's been golden. We finally have got Ricky, Jay, hitting bunker shots well after 2 years of me telling him, move the ball forward, move the ball forward, move the ball forward. He finally found that sweet spot. Remember when he went through the stretch where, and Ryan, I'm not kidding you, anytime he had a greenside bunker shot, he was like Barry Bonds in the steroid era, touch them all. Like he would hit it 40 yards over the green. It never, ever failed. I mean, like 100% of the time. And I'm like, dude, you would be the greatest. Like, what is that 40 to 60 yard bunker shot that's so tough? Just trying to, take your normal greenside bunker swing.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like bunker, it's so important to set up the same way. And like you're talking about being on that lead side, because you're trying to impact you want the ball up near the front because you're trying to impact as far up in your stance as you can to get that ball to come out the appropriate way. So if you don't have your weight on that front side and your ball is on that front side, you're either going to hit it heavy every time or keep throwing that blade right into the equator of that ball, and you're never going to hit consistent bunker shots. But great point. 5 minutes with Jay will move you in the right direction.
We'll get to Keith's segment, but I do want to take this opportunity to say for the year of this year, and I know it's been previous years, but a lot of firsts this year, like Luke Giglio. I think I posted that on social media. It was his first tournament, and that was really cool.
That was awesome,
Yeah, and having a lot of students this year, first breaking 100 or breaking 90, breaking 80. There was so many firsts this year, so I'm thankful. I'm thankful to have the customers, clients coming to me week in, week out, and the ones that put in the work.
Yeah.
And you know who you are.
Yeah.
You know it.
Well, you can't get lessons in anything and not put in the work. Why spend the money on the lesson?
That's right.
I don't know.
And
that's
why
my brother-in-law misses you and talks about it all the time.
Wesley Budd.
Wes Budd, he brings, every time he starts showing with golf, because if Jay wouldn't have left, I'd be fine. And I'm like, well, he's not. We got to figure something else out, bro. So.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, we need to get.
Maybe you need to open up a virtual lesson thing.
That's growing, from what I heard. It is really growing.
It's certainly tough because you're not there to, physically help and be able to manipulate things if if you like to manipulate shaft angle and stuff like that.
He's more of a Chubbs type teacher though, so I think it would work out.
That's true.
For him,
sitting on the folding chair behind, just looking the down the line angle. Yeah. Hey, Keith, real quick before we get into the Super Bowl stuff, I got a question for you. What will it take for you to not hate the Atlanta Falcons? What is the golden moment because I'm just curious myself, and I know obviously you call in and your Atlanta sports rants are epic and some of the best we've ever seen. But what will it take for you not to, or is it too far now?
I mean, at this point, it's Super Bowl or bust, I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was talking about this the other day. We've been to 2 Super Bowls, obviously, luckily in my lifetime, because the franchise has been around since the mid-'60s. The first one, our literal man of the year, who got the award for the entire NFL, gets arrested the